Hey guys, welcome to my first video on this channel. Today I will be talking about why a Resident Evil fighter should be in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. For those who do not know, Resident Evil is a 24-year-old franchise that made its debut on the PlayStation 1. It defined the survival horror genre back in 1996, and after many ups and downs, the series just recently made a grand comeback thanks to the help of Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, the Resident Evil 2 remake, with the upcoming Resident Evil 3 remake looking to follow in the latter two's footsteps. For my first reason, let's go back in time, back to the era of the GameCube. Capcom made a deal with Nintendo that made their next three Resident Evil games, Resident Evil 0, the Resident Evil 1 remake, and Resident Evil 4, to be GameCube exclusives. Although that deal was ultimately shattered, with Resident Evil 4 appearing on literally every console onwards once the deal ended, it had a lasting impact on the GameCube's lifespan, with some people buying a GameCube solely for these games. Adding to that statement, Resident Evil 4 was also one of the best-selling third-party titles on the platform, only getting beat by two Sonic games. This shows that Resident Evil had an impact on Nintendo's history. The Resident Evil series has also been going strong on Nintendo's current console, the Nintendo Switch, with the original GameCube games Resident Evil 0, the Resident Evil 1 remake, Resident Evil 4, and also Resident Evil 5 and Resident Evil 6 on the platform, showing that the bond between Nintendo and Resident Evil is still very close. Perhaps the Nemesis could be announced as an advertisement for the upcoming Resident Evil 3 remake, since a port of Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, Resident Evil 2 remake, and the Resident Evil 3 remake are extremely likely, similar to how Joker was announced to advertise Persona 5 Scramble and Corrin for Fire Emblem Fates. Another reason why this series should get a fighter is because it is Capcom's second best-selling series of all time, with Resident Evil 5, Resident Evil 6, and Resident Evil 7 Biohazard being the second, third, and fourth respective best-selling Capcom games of all time, beating even Street Fighter 2. It's not Devil May Cry, it's Resident Evil. My last reason is that the Resident Evil franchise would perfectly represent the horror genre in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. With practically every genre, ranging from FPS to tactical RPG, being represented, the lack of horror is upsetting, and Resident Evil would be the perfect candidate to represent this genre. This is one of the game series that pioneered horror video games, for crying out loud. The series is the horror, as Doom is the first-person shooters and Mario is the platformers. There are those who say, no, not happening. Remember that Spirit event back in November, idiot? And what I say to those people is, anything is possible. Any character is possible unless they are deconfirmed by Nintendo or Sakurai. And besides, there are people who wanted Gino, Waluigi, Rayman, and Shantae for DLC, despite the four of them being spirits. This series can make it an Ultimate in my eyes. If not this game, then for sure some Smash title in the future. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you guys have an awesome day, and until next time, see ya.